The Lakers down one. Will Kobe give them one last gamer? Bryant on the move with the jumper. He got it! My! 58 points! And the Lakers lead!
What can I say? Mamba out, Mamba out, Mamba out.
Five in the fry.
There it is.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, FableAngelo.
And this is your boy, your co-host, JDiddy.
This is another episode of Five in the Fry podcast. Place where you come and get five-course conversation. But this episode, I just want to, bring it in a little differently, man.
Feeling a little heavy right now, huh?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and every single last individual that was on that helicopter.
100%.
That lost their life in that accident, man. And I guess we kind of can start it off.
Wait, I still wanted you to ask me. Oh, I don't know where you was going with. I want you to ask me.
JDiddy,
Yeah.
can you please tell us what's on the menu for tonight, bro?
Well, first of all, we have a dominant lineup for you guys today. Shout out to Dr. Paul Phillips, man. President, CEO, founder of Better Man Than Me organization, man. A non-profit organization with the sole focus of impacting the world by providing young men with the tools and information they need to succeed. I'm also messing with the dominant brand, man. He's doing big things. Make sure you check him out. A lot of good apparel. What the man stands for is it's exactly what we need in this day and age right now with our youth, man. But again, we got a dominant lineup for you guys today. But
See what you did there.
it's tough,
like
man.
it.
Yeah, it's
it.
tough, man. Kobe.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, losing his life. Tragic incident. Tragic with his daughter and all the other, man. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
I just couldn't imagine, man. So we wanted to start the show off, man, with a tribute, if you will, man. Like,
Yeah.
we want to focus on the positive, man. Where your head at, FA, right now? What's going on, man?
I mean, I can look back and, think about my Kobe tenure as a Kobe fan was short-lived because I was one of the guys that rooted against Kobe.
Is that right?
Yeah, mistakenly so. I was one of those guys where
It was a mistake.
it was a huge mistake because I hated the fact that, of course, we're Bulls fans. We're from Chicago.
100%.
I hate the fact that anybody who comes up gets compared to Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And that was a strike against Kobe in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not want anybody to be compared to the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that was a mistake because me and my hatred for Kobe had me, it was a lack of appreciation for what he brought to the game, his 20 years in this game. I can recall like all of the battles that he had against the Kings. You remember Doug Christie?
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying? The Kings, man, them games was intense, dude.
A lot of big moments.
Yeah.
A lot of big shots.
Yeah, man.
Competitive. It was fierce.
Man.
I mean, those are some incredible moments, man.
Absolutely.
Definitely some incredible moments in NBA history, man. When those teams went at it in the West, man. And I feel like I was on the same wavelength as you when it comes to Kobe, man.
You hated Kobe?
Why is this man trying to be Mike, man?
Yeah.
I don't like that about this dude, man. He gonna have to figure out who he is. He don't need to be like somebody else. But again, if you're trying to be a dominant force in the league.
Who
You
else
gotta like
was
come
you
on,
patting
the
your
greatest,
game
the GOAT.
after?
He the GOAT, man.
Yeah,
He the
yeah.
GOAT. And some would say if Kobe had got 6 rings, he may very well
Arguably
have
be
been the GOAT
greatest.
too over Mike. So yeah, man.
Yeah, and I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I hate the fact that I rooted against him or if I can appreciate now, you know what I'm saying, what he brought to the game. Because I remember too, another thing I appreciated is when I actually sat down and watched that movie that he did with Spike Lee. I don't know if you ever watched it.
The one he won a Grammy for? I mean, Oscar for?
No,
He
that
did
was the Dear Basketball.
Oh,
That was
okay.
the animated joint.
Yeah.
This is while he was still playing. The movie that he did
I
with Spike
did
Lee.
see that.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I did see that. Yes,
and
yes.
They made it the same year that they won the championship.
Yeah, and that did he have the finger? Did he break his finger that year?
I think so.
And he had the big swollen finger, man.
I
He
think
had
so.
to learn how to shoot with a finger cast on and whatnot. Perseverance, man. Just
Yeah.
grit. Absolutely, man. Just
Yeah.
bar none. Straight
Yeah.
Mamba, man.
And I remember watching that and just enjoying how he broke down every single aspect of the game, man. And from that point on, my respect level for Kobe grew to an extreme level, man. Like, I respected that dude after that, you know what I'm saying, up
Yeah.
until his death. And I wish I would have been able to respect him a lot more before then, so I can appreciate everything that he did, you know what I'm saying. But for right now, you know, it's just, man, everybody's hearts are heavy because we lost a great one, bro.
Absolutely.
We lost
like,
a great one,
I
man.
didn't know how much he meant to me until
Right.
that. And it sucks to say that, man.
Right.
It really impacted me. Like,
Yeah.
we were right here when that thing happened, and we found out via text, and it was like, nah, come on, man. That ain't,
Yeah.
bruh, why you playing with Kobe name like that? And then his daughter, that hit me,
It's extra hard.
man.
As a father yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like to have your kid with you, and then the fact that the media did us bogus with his whole family was on the chopper. Oh no, it wasn't.
It was
Rick
all
Fox
focused, yeah.
was even on the chopper. Like what is going on, TMZ? Like why y'all doing this to us?
Yeah.
But I mean, let's focus on the positives, man. Like you said, if I could piggyback, I'm sorry, land back. I don't do that piggy stuff. I remember the game we went to, the Bulls game. We just talked about this the other day, man. When Shaq got into that fight with Brad Miller, I wish I could have looked up the exact date. But,
Yeah.
you know, although the Bulls won, shouts
Yep.
out to the Bulls. I wish we could continue to do that now, but we'll see. It was interesting to see him play. Anytime that he was on the floor, your eyes immediately went to him on both sides of the floor.
Right.
You know he was doing something, man. The intelligence to the sheer grit, the Mamba mentality. You know what? It's intrusive. The Mamba mentality is intrusive, and I mean that in the most positive way because it supersedes just basketball. Like we talking about life.
Absolutely.
And we got a glimpse of that, a short glimpse of that, what basketball life was for Kobe after he hung his shoes up. He hung the tennis shoes up, man. And man, if we could have experienced more. But, you know, winning an Oscar right after, you know, not even a year removed from playing,
From dropping
that speaks
60.
volume. Like, people work for years at their craft to win an Oscar. This man won it straight off. Right when he took the, you know what I'm saying, the jersey and the shoes off, he just wins the Oscar, man. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Kobe.
And that's why I was gonna say, you know what I'm saying, the line back off your point. You know what I'm saying? Lamb bass.
Yeah,
lamb back.
You know, we don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't eat
Aha.
pork. Okay. So, but anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like what I was saying when I was watching the movie, his attention to detail. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly what his show was, too.
Exactly what his show was. Detail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly what he continued on after life on the court. You know what I'm saying? And he said this too. He was like, I'm preparing for life on the court or life off the court while I'm still playing. You know what I'm saying? And I think the fact that he won the Oscar like a year or two later, this was already in the works.
Yep.
He was already preparing. He already had the details, the same way that he prepared on the court for a basketball game is the same way he spent years and years preparing to win this Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that if more and more of us saw that and adopted that way of thinking, and a lot of what we do on a daily basis, man, a lot of us will learn a lot, and a lot of us will be a lot more successful in life, man.
I couldn't agree more, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Agree more.
So, I mean, if we're going to take anything from this man's life, I think that's the number one thing is the Mamba mentality, man. No matter what you do, be the best at what you do, man. Period.
Too bad Gale couldn't. Too bad Gale couldn't.
Oh my goodness.
It couldn't. You couldn't think about that on the same wavelength with her. First of all, I didn't get a chance to go over the dominant lineup that we have for you guys today, but we just gonna kind of go into it and just let it flow, bro. We got the bullet points. We just gonna let it flow. Of course, have you seen the Gale King and Lisa Leslie interview, CBS?
What I did see was
straight boo-boo. It was a snippet, though.
Boo-boo.
It was a snippet.
And I was listening to when you were watching it earlier, you know what I'm saying, and it made it worse. Because, of course, the snippet only caught so much, but then the fact that she kept crying not once, not twice, but 3 times.
As if to, like, try to get her to change her thinking about it, maybe?
I don't understand.
You think that was her goal? That was her goal.
I don't know what Gale's goal was, man. Honestly, I don't know if she thought this out. But, of course, when you're doing an interview, when you're at that level and you're preparing to go, you know what I'm saying, in front of the camera, in front of the media, and you're about to do an interview with a celebrity, a lot of preparation goes into that, correct?
100%.
Especially when you're Gale King.
But it would have to. You can't have but some stuff.
Right.
You gotta be on point with that, man.
So when you're preparing, you're coming across these questions, you have to think in your mind, is this appropriate or not? Correct?
100%.
Why didn't that happen this time? So you have to question, okay, what was her intentions? Was her intentions to really ask her an honest question about this? Or were her intentions otherwise?
In Gale's defense, right? Because there is 3 sides.
Okay.
Apparently, they went over this information. They went over the interview beforehand, right?
Her and Lisa?
Yes. And also to add, Gale didn't know that they pieced together, whomever it may be, someone from the CBS studios cut, edited and put that snippet video out where it was just that tone of, you know what? I know Kobe just died, but his legacy is tainted. Should his legacy be tainted because of this? You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Was
that right? No, absolutely not. But Gale, obviously, she claimed she didn't know about it. She didn't know that CBS went over her head. But apparently, man, this interview had been out for, I wouldn't say quite some time, but the video had been out. The interview had been out. And then later on, they released the snippet. Perhaps it didn't get the ratings. I had no idea about it. But then again, I don't watch a lot of TV. Right. And if I am watching TV, I'm damn sure not watching CBS. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest with you. So was it a ploy to get ratings to come up? Because it's really about money, man.
Right.
You got to follow the money.
That's why I was asking, what were her intentions really? Was it really to get information from Lisa, or was it really to, you know what I'm saying,
I know
do a shock value?
Snoop seemed to think that it was like the vitriol in his demeanor when he was forthcoming with his opinion about what Gale did. You got the Jello pudding man himself tweeting from prison about it.
Yeah.
You got Lil Boosie, you know what I'm saying, making videos about it.
Boosie went in.
I didn't see what Cosby said. I forgot to turn the time on.
And then Matt Barnes, he said something, but Matt Barnes wasn't as vicious as Snoop and Boosie was on Gale. You know what I'm saying? He just said, man, that was very distasteful. That was very disrespectful. You need to fix this. You need to apologize for this, Gale. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't in disagreement with him. Like, man, Gale, come on, sis. Come on, man. What are you doing?
It was just like she was just wanting to Lisa to.
That's very distasteful.
You know what? Just to change her overall thought and just relinquish that. Yeah, his legacy is. No, I'm sorry. So if I may clear some things up, man, because I did a little bit more digging, and I know this is something necessarily you don't want to talk about, but I feel like I should, just to put it to rest. Yes, he was, someone said someone accused him of rape, right? A young lady, Denver, Colorado. But there was an article that came out. I don't know. It had to have been immediately after the incident. With a young lady, they interviewed some of her colleagues. She went back to a party after said event happened, and she was bragging about what she had just done. Describing his member.
I heard that before.
Yeah, it was an article, and they took the article out. I was looking at Tariq Nasheed. He had a video the day of when the Kobe tragedy happened, and he was talking about it. Even posted the article. It was in the papers. It was in the internet sphere, right? It's out there. This information is out there, and the young lady was bragging about it. She also had multiple guys' fluids in, in her. So, is this a case of somebody being accused of something and they didn't actually do it, and the rest of the planet just takes, that's one side where, okay, yeah, he did commit adultery. Let's talk about that as opposed to he raped somebody. But long story short, man, I just want to put it to bed. He didn't pay her any money. He didn't apologize. He apologized, but he did it in a way where he didn't omit or, say that yes, I did this. He didn't. He was enlightened by her side of what had happened, what transpired, and he was letting her know, like, I was wrong for that. I didn't take into account your experience with this. I should have done that. But long story short, man, I don't want to demonize him. Like, we're human. Right? We all make mistakes. Yes, he was wrong. Absolutely, 100%. If you out there cheating, man, like, you got to look in the mirror at yourself. But that's what media does, man. That's what they get paid to do because, of course, ratings, and it makes money. So, I, in no way, shape, or form, feel that his legacy has been tarnished because of this. Did he commit adultery? Yes. But we make mistakes all the time. Every day we do. So worry about yourself, man, at the end of the day, man. I ain't mean to take it off, focus. We was talking about Gale.
To set the record straight, I just think it's distasteful to talk about it at all. The timing
Why not ask?
of it.
He was alive, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't we talk about it then?
You had years and years to ask him about this, man. And this is, we just revisiting something that's already been put to rest. It's already been clarified. Why are you bringing it up now? That's something, what was that? The day that he passed, People Magazine came out with an article.
Goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Breaking Kobe's death. And they mentioned it near the end of their article. People Magazine, very distasteful. I never spend money at People Magazine. I never read People Magazine ever again in my life.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? It's just very distasteful, man. And I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to mention it. It's already been said,
That's
done.
real. That's real.
Let's keep it moving, bro.
Let's keep it moving, man. What were your thoughts? I don't know if I gave you a chance to even explain like how you felt about what Gale did, and then Oprah, right? A lot of people are coming at Oprah too, man, because of course they best friends. And so Oprah came to Gale's defense, as I would if something happened to you like that too.
Right.
But
right,
Oprah, a lot of people, especially women in Hollywood, have a viewpoint of her that we might not all share. Monique came out with a video and was expressing some distaste about an interview that Oprah did when she invited her mother. Like, that was the one thing Monique did not want Oprah to do, and Oprah did it anyway.
Oprah invited Monique's mother.
Yes, and interviewed her. Regardless of regardless of how Monique felt about it. Toni Braxton came forward and said some things. This was in the past.
Okay.
But it's coming up again. Some celebrities actually are taking their stance on how Oprah hasn't been forthcoming and being honest about some things too. And then, of course, Monique shared some experiences with Oprah. For example, she said Monique always wanted to be like Oprah. She ended up meeting Oprah one day. Yeah. She told a story. It's a video out there. She told a story about how she met Oprah and she hugged Oprah and she said, I want to be like you. And Oprah pretty much gave and reinforced and gave her some encouragement. And then when she finally made it, what came out, man?
So this is Monique's mother telling Oprah this.
This is Monique sharing pretty much the story about how, hey, we might not be able to trust Oprah too. Like, she's been foul. Like, she's been recorded not being, the most honest person or, deceitful in a sense. Like, you have a line of questioning, but she just veers off into like something different, something that they maybe talked about that they weren't gonna talk about on the interview.
Okay.
But yeah, Oprah will push those boundaries. Does that make you a good reporter, a good, interviewer, or does that make you, deceitful? Like, that's the question I'm thinking about too. Is she doing her job? Because it is your job to point out those flaws, like those issues that people are dealing with. And the interviewee is not necessarily ready to talk about those things, so they feel a little blindsided. But there were multiple people that came out and spoke against how Oprah is a little deceitful as well, long story short. I know that was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
That was a lot. I'm sorry. I just blindsided you, so, I did the same thing Oprah did.
Yeah, basically, I'm very uncomfortable in this situation. What are you asking me, Oprah?
I'm just saying. I guess.
What's the question? What's the question? Is Oprah?
Is she down with
is she
cause?
Deceitful or is she
Yeah. She ain't interviewed Harvey Weinstein.
She didn't.
No,
she did not.
No, Gale, neither of them. And you. A lot of people think that she attacking black men, pretty much.
Yeah.
Both, actually. You seen what happened with R. Kelly, man.
Yeah.
Hey, well, R. Kelly, come on, R. Kelly, stop it.
It's funny how the first thing that comes to my mind. It's funny how money fixes everybody's view on a specific person. You know what I'm saying? Because they're successful, irregardless of how they gain that success or irregardless of what they do behind closed doors, they're successful. They got money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Oprah, I think, is one of those individuals where you hear a lot of things about her, you know what I'm saying, but we brush them off as rumors because she's successful.
Man.
She's the first black woman, black billionaire, this and that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we kind of ignore everything else negative that we hear about her, whether it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? So is that something that we as a people need to start having a conversation about?
I think so.
Because it's like, okay, just because I made money, like, I mean, look at R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? You can't really dismiss. Look at Bill Cosby. All these people are successful, and yet they're still human, and yet they still do some wild stuff behind closed doors, man. So are we still willing to just continue to dismiss what people do just because they're successful, because we look up to them? You know what I'm saying? I honestly, look at Michael Jordan. I hear a lot of people speaking about how Michael Jordan spoke down on young black men in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Jordan went as far as to say F rap, F hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Irregardless of how we revered him in this culture. You dig what I'm saying? Are we just going to sweep that aside because, hey, that's Mike. He's the GOAT. He's the most successful.
You can't
know what I'm saying?
Hey, whatever he say is gold.
Yeah.
You better take it, and it's a fact. It's a law because the billionaire who invests in prison, is the law. Like, he's the GOAT. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But I recall the pedestal syndrome episode we did.
Exactly.
Like, you can't, there are some prominent figures, people who make so much money, people we hold to high esteem, they can do no wrong. But in fact, like I just got through saying, and I'll say it again, we are human. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care if you the president. I don't care if you the CEO. I don't care, what you got a doctorate degree. It doesn't matter. You still human. You gonna make mistakes. We all fall short.
Yeah. So
I gotta make sure that I repent and I do what I'm supposed to do to make it to where I'm trying to go. And that's all that should matter. Yeah, you can intake a lot from Oprah. She's done some great things, and hold on to that. But don't hold them to such a high esteem that they can never do any wrong, because that would be that wouldn't be honest. That wouldn't be the truth. So
Exactly. So is Oprah immune to the repercussion of public defiling from her own people?
it's not a popular opinion, but we all know that some unpopular things can be true. So, long story short, Snoop did apologize. Snoop did. I don't know. Well, he was the one that was like, he went in on Gale.
Yeah.
He went in on Gale, and I don't agree with that either. Yeah, you can get your point across, but I don't have to slander somebody and call them names, to get my point across. It's definitely how you do things that's important to me.
And people are very emotional right now.
100%.
People are still mourning.
As
so
we
that's
should.
why you don't bring up no stuff like that.
100%.
But anyways, man.
Should we be bringing up how some celebrities' parenting style is in question? In particular,
a young fellow by the name of...
Oh, man. He changed it. She changed. We talking about the parent, as in Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
Go ahead, break it down, man.
His son is what, 11, 12 years old, and
is it still his son?
I'm sorry. I gotta backtrack. Man, that's his son, man. I ain't trying to. We might as well go straight into our opinions. We know what's going on with D Wade and his family, and being a supportive father. Gabrielle Union, his mom, and his son is pretty much feeling that he is not a man. He's not a boy. He's a girl. He was, should we say, God made a mistake?
Wow. Even just you saying that, like, word. I mean, dude, this goes back to one of our previous episodes as well, when we talk about Alicia Keys.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And her son wanting to have rainbow-colored fingernails.
Yes.
And I had an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? And somebody had an issue with me having an issue with that. And I'm pretty sure people, you know what I'm saying, have an issue with us having an issue with Dwayne Wade's
100%
child. My question is, when does the parents step in to a child's decision-making behavior and say, okay, you do this, you do this? When do we guide as parents?
100%.
That's what we're here for, right?
Because I wanted to be Batman growing up.
And if your mom said, okay, word, okay, we're going to get you a cape. I want to see you jump off the roof.
We're going to build you a cave.
We're going to fight
in
crime.
the basement.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to buy you some pet bats.
And I know that's like some cosmetic stuff, but that was a really good question. At what point is the parent supposed to say, okay, these are the guidelines?
Right.
Like, I couldn't get an earring in my ear till damn near moved out my mama crib. Exactly. Tattoo, boy, my mama would smack me if she even thought I was thinking about getting a tattoo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Curfew. I'm 11. I'm 9, 10, 11 years old. Mom, you know what? I'm going out with the homies, man. The street lights came on. I don't care.
Right.
I'm staying outside, mama. Right. Because this is who I am.
All right.
Let me be great, mama.
All right.
You feel me?
All right.
Like, nah, it don't work like that. So, should we keep that same mentality when it comes to a 12, 13-year-old understanding his sexuality? I couldn't, man. I'm not going to condemn anyone,
right.
And this is the question that I have to ask myself. I have a son, was I exposing my son to some things that may have changed his thinking? Should I, if so, if I decrease that and it reinforce, I don't want to say right, because it's not, people have a problem with what's right and what's wrong, but I can get counseling for my son. Yeah. There are things that I can do before I say, okay, go and do you. Yeah. Right?
And we're not saying that he didn't do that.
No.
For his child.
100%.
For his kid.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? We're just saying, put us in that same situation. You know what I'm saying? Our mindsets and how we would think about it. Whether you agree with it or not, this is how we view it. If we had a kid that was struggling with their sexuality, You know what I'm saying? Or with any kind of confusion of whether they're male, female, this and that. And it's real. I don't know, man. It just makes me feel a certain way, dog. Like you said, we're telling God that He made a mistake. You dig what I'm saying?
And that's the thing that I was struggling with, because I recall D-Wade giving thanks to the Most High, right? You know, we thank Him, but do we really abide by His commandments and what God is reinforcing within us? Are we practicing what He would want us to practice? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is that the case? Because if that is the case, you would probably tell your daughter or your son, whatever the case may be, like, God didn't make you that way. What you have, what you came out with, is what you're supposed to be. The Most High knows your end before your beginning, right? He don't. Did he make mistakes? Did he make a mistake? Just, you know, man, did he? Are we saying that, you know, the man who is perfect made? Yeah, he made some mistakes out there in society, right? Or is the enemy doing what he's supposed to be doing?
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people would say, well, why are you bringing religion? I'm not a religious person.
And I don't even think that's a religious thing, man. Like, you have a creator. We all do. But some people
you have to, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people out there don't believe the way that we believe. Some people don't even believe there is a God.
Period.
You have atheists out there, you know what I'm saying? Of course, they probably, it's difficult to not believe in a higher power. You know what I'm saying? But whether you believe in God or not, it's like you have to understand human anatomy. If you're born a certain way, this is the way that you were supposed to be born, correct? You were designed a certain way so that you can continue life.
100%.
And it's like, it's simple. It's a no-brainer. And we're not speaking against, you know what I'm saying, when you become an adult, what you decide to do, your sexual choices, this and that. We're speaking about children. We're speaking about kids.
Mine is underdeveloped.
Don't
even know who he is. Don't know his history. You know, learn some more. Experience a little bit more life.
They're not adults yet. They haven't become an adult. The difference between a child and an adult is able to make decisions on their own. A child still needs their parents to help them make decisions. So in this situation, how dare you tell me not to be a parent to my child if I feel that my child is not making the best decision for their future?
Man, come on with it, man.
That's all I gotta say about it, man.
I wonder, like, are we letting society raise our kids?
We are.
Because we're just going along with whatever is popular. Like, we're in no shape, way, form condemning, you know, homosexuality or people, you know what I'm saying, gay people, lesbians, trans. We're in no way, shape, form condemning anyone. Like, they're still human.
Yeah.
And I was raised to love I was taught to love everyone. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm not speaking against that. All I'm saying is I'm going to love them regardless. Like, you made that choice, but if you're in my household and I'm raising you, there are some guidelines, there are some rules that you will follow, period.
Thank you.
And then another point, I talked to some colleagues about the same subject matter, and it's like, okay, again, D-Wade is a famous dude. Gabrielle Union is famous as well. We go back to the society piece, right? Let him speak against homosexuality on that platform, right? So is there a motivation not to say the wrong thing, not to support the wrong thing, not to stand up for the right thing, or what
you believe is right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Would it be different if he was raised in a household with his real mom? Some people feel like maybe Gabrielle influenced D-Wade to take this approach to raising his son or his daughter, or, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And we hadn't talked about that, but that was definitely something that I had thought about. And I'm not saying that Gabrielle is the reason why D-Wade is saying, hey, man, you know what? You're a girl, you're a boy, you feel like you're an animal. Hey, whatever you feel, I'm going to support that. That's wonderful. Like, but even still, if I'm raising my son like I was raised, and I feel like I turned out to be a decent human being. Yeah. Why not keep that same energy? Why and when I'm raising my children and my seed?
Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's real simple to me in my eyes. It's a lot more complicated to other individuals, you know what I'm saying? And that's for you and your children, you know what I'm saying, to be confused. But you're not going to force me to be confused with you.
100%.
That's all I'm saying, bro. I have a set goal in my mind when it comes to my child, to raise my child the best way that I see fit. No way am I going to allow anybody else to interfere with that unless you are on the same wavelength as I am. A lot of people aren't. You can agree to disagree. That's fine. But you're still not going to force me to raise my son or my daughter the way that you would.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying, bro.
That's it.
That's bottom line, man. That's bottom line, bro. You know what I'm saying? What we got next, bro?
So, it is Black History Month. We had, I'm sorry.
Lift every voice.
I remember learning that, and my mother, she trained my sisters, and we would have to. She would teach it. We'd go off on our own and practice, and we had to do it in front of her.
Perform.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We had to learn what speech did we have to learn? A couple different speeches, man. But my mother was on it, man. She was with the Black History facts, man.
She sound like Joe Jackson,
man. It was real. But again, look at how. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the smartest dude, but a lot of people don't even know that's the Black National Anthem. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know that's the Black National Anthem.
Yeah.
You know, especially this day and age, man. We struggle with saying the creed at my gig, man. People don't even want to say it. But long story short, we have our segment, Mythbusters.
Mythbusters.
We queuing it. Is it ready?
Is it ready?
I think it's ready. Whole squad ready.
Hold on. It's not ready.
But yeah, we have a new segment that we introduced a couple weeks ago, man. We want to bring it back and FAQing it up right now. But again, each week for this particular segment, man, we want to dispel a lot of myths that, again, society has just taken and ran with, and it's unpopular to feel or believe or speak against what the popular, is saying or pushing out.
Okay.
So the segment is entitled.
Watch this. Hold on, I didn't get it.
I was saying that was it. That was the opportunity right there, man.
All right, do it again.
Okay, hey, so Mythbusters is the segment coming at you like.
Dang, it didn't work.
Okay, we just gonna move on.
One more time.
One more time.
All
right, The new segment that we bring it to you guys today is called Mythbusters. So, again, I think the first time we talked about it, we did an homage to the pianist, the most famous musician that.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yep. Ludwig Beethoven.
Yes.
Ludwig van Beethoven.
But for this week, we're gonna talk about the Moors, man. Black Kings rule. Yeah.
I wasn't doing it again.
Yeah.
I had to make up.
So how familiar with you about the Moors, man?
I remember hearing about the Moors, and shout out to Tariq Nasheed in Hidden Colors DVD, where it speaks about the African presence worldwide. We weren't just in Africa, we were everywhere around the world. So I remember hearing it then until now.
Black kings and kings ruled Europe for almost 700 years. History confirms that the Moors ruled Europe, primarily Spain and Portugal, for almost 700 years. They were known for their influence in European culture, but not many people know that the Moors were actually Europeans of African descent, which we can do some more research on that too. You know?
Definitely.
But Moors were usually depicted as being mostly black or very swarthy, and hence the word is often used for Negro, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. Several written works at the time also confirm that. The 16th century English playwright William Shakespeare used the word Moor as a synonym for African, and Christopher Marlowe used Moor and African interchangeably. So they were using the language of Moors, or using that adjective to describe people of color of African descent, even back in that day. The author, I know it's a lot, man. In European art, Moors are also often shown with African features, pitch black, frizzled hair. So if you saw depictions of what Moors look like, they are dark, bro. And these same people circumvented the globe, ruled Spain, European areas for over 700 years, right? And then if you look in history now, there were so many different plots employed to tear down what the Moors have built, because I wasn't up on the Moors until I was a grown man.
Right.
This wasn't something I learned in middle school. This wasn't even something I learned in high school. This is something that I had to seek out, right? But why am I not learning about this in the system that's building me up, you know, to go out there and be great? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I want to learn this information, you know what I'm saying, that help me bring myself along to build myself up, you know? Because oftentimes, like, black people don't get credit for a lot of things that we do.
Yeah.
You know?
Hence, that's why we bring it in the Mythbusters thing, man. Because
Exactly.
who would think, you know what I'm saying, that Moors, because when you look at media, you look at, you know what I'm saying, Hollywood videos and this and that, you look at the medieval times, it's mostly white people.
That's it. That's all you see.
We never see
That's a good.
700-year span where black folks was, you know what I'm saying?
You see
the
them,
throne.
but they like, come go
hither.
get my maid and clean the house. You know what I'm saying? It's in a servitude role and not.
Yeah.
I'm teaching you something.
Yeah.
Don't sleep in the house with your animals. Put them outside.
Yeah.
You don't bathe in clothes. You know what I'm saying? Your clothes. You need soap to get clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And this is also goes back into what you call it, lambacking, not piggybacking.
Yes.
Lambacking
No more
into
piggy.
my previous points, where parenthood comes into play with guiding the mentality of a child who might not be learning this information anywhere else. If you see it as important information as a parent, you introduce this to your child.
100%.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I got a lot of I'm just sayings, man.
That's
You know what I'm
fine
saying?
though, man, because that's what 5 in the Fry is for. You know, I'm curious, man. I know that our viewers, our listeners have opinions. We do have a voicemail that they can use, because I want to know more about how you guys feel about Gale King. I want to know, was Snoop, you know, prophetic in his opinion of Gale and Oprah? How you feeling about Kobe? But if you want to, we want to hear your opinion. We want to hear what's going on. So please call us at
708 320 9415. Yeah.
Please let us know, man. Call in. We want to know your opinion. We want to hear from you. And yes, you will have an opportunity to be on this show. Don't you want to be here? Come on with it.
You got a phone call.
Everybody got a phone. Everybody do.
Yeah, man. 708-320-9415.
Just like
is
that.
the area
Just like that.
code 4. I said the area code. The phone number 4. The voicemail. Call in. Give your opinions. Give us your feedback.
You might disagree.
You might disagree.
And that's totally fine.
You might think I'm a total idiot
Yes.
for wanting to be a parent to my child. If so, I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to play you on the podcast and we'll speak about it.
Absolutely.
Anybody's opinion is welcome, man.
Thank
Whether
you.
you agree or disagree.
And I think that's so important in this day and age, man. We don't have to just believe and take the law once one person says it because they got a lot of money. You don't have to do that.
Nah.
We wasn't raised that way, so why would we just push that agenda? Come on, man.
Nah.
Another dominant episode. Mamba mentality going on right now, man.
Wakanda forever.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Once again, man, rest in peace to the legend Kobe. Rest in peace to his daughter Gigi. Rest in peace to all the other 7 individuals that lost their lives in the crash, man. We'll forever remember you guys. And Kobe, we will hope to adopt your Mamba mentality, and we appreciate your contribution to this life, bro.
100%, man. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
But without further ado, if all minds and hearts are clear, My name is FableAngelo.
And this is your boy, your co-host, JDiddy.
This has been another successful episode of Five in the Fry podcast. Until we meet again, we bid you guys farewell. God bless. You are now listening to Five in the Fry.
Hey, ooh, wee.